wow, this was so much different than the advertisement showed. They didn't really release too much information about this one, except that Amethyst was getting a new form. Which, of course, Pearl has already done it, Garnet has done it, and now that Amethyst has done it, I'm pretty happy to say that she didn't change at all, like Steven said. Seeing the relationship between Garnet and Amethyst was really interesting because Garnet is such a mature character. The two contrast very well, and I have to say, when they are faced with it, it seems as if they are actually a daughter and a mom talking to one another. Because that's how most people see Amethyst, not as another mom, but as a sister to Steven. Quite honestly, I'm hoping to see more of the Slinker in this next episode, because that character, even though it's not really a character, it's more of a monster, I'm really interested to see what it can do now that Amethyst and Garnet are fighting each other. To me, one of my favorite things that Steven Universe does is the way they use plot devices. For example, Steven using the survey, or Steven using the No Homeboys in the episode On the Run. I really appreciate that and the way they structure their story. In all seriousness, Amethyst really does remind me of a moody teenager who really does appreciate people, but at the time won't say anything about it. I like the way she does that, and it was really emphasized in this episode, and there's a lot of characters that do that, but the ending made it work so well when they close up on her and she just smiles. She does that really weird smile, but I love it because it's showing that Amethyst had an entire arc throughout this entire episode, which is really, really cool. Unfortunately, one thing I didn't like about it, and Steven points it out, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter. Amethyst doesn't really change all that much for her new form. I mean, she goes from form to form because Garnet keeps trying to tell her something to do correctly, but she won't listen. But when she does her final form, it's alright. It's just a different, body color. I'd say that right. Yeah, it's more of a body color than the clothes, really. In the end of the episode, I felt like I got to know Amethyst even more, even though we already know this side of her. However, it feels really nice when the episode ends and it wraps all up, like I said. I was happy to see an episode with Amethyst and Garnet together, because we don't usually see that sort of thing, unless of course Pearl's not around. Which was one thing. I was wondering where Pearl really was throughout this episode. It was just kind of confusing me. But this episode did quell the when is Amethyst going to transform into a different form thing. Because Pearl already did it, Garnet already did it, well, Ruby and Sapphire. Heyo, ha ha ha. It's an episode I've been waiting for a while to see, and I'm happy the way they did it. And I liked Steroids Amethyst too. That was really cool. And Amethyst, don't worry about Pearl. Be strong in your real way. Hey.